Okra or Okro, known in many English-speaking countries as ladies' fingers. It is a flowering plant in the mallow family. It is valued for its edible green seed pods. It is a good source of minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber. The first use of the word okra appeared in 1679 in the colony of Virginia, deriving from the Igbo word. The word gumbo was first recorded to be used in American vernacular around 1805, deriving from Louisiana Creole, but originates from either the Umbundu word ochinggômbo or the Kimbundu word ki-ngombo. Despite the fact that in most of the United States the word gumbo often refers to the dish, gumbo, many places in the Deep South still use it to refer to the pods and plant, as well as many other variants of the word found across the African diaspora in the Americas. Origin and distribution. The geographical origin of okra is disputed, with supporters of South Asian, Ethiopian and West African origins. The Egyptians and Moors of the 12th and 13th centuries used the Arabic word for the plant, bamia, suggesting it had come into Egypt from Arabia, but earlier it was probably taken from Ethiopia to Arabia. The plant may have entered Southwest Asia across the Red Sea or the Bab el-Mandeb Strait to the Arabian Peninsula, rather than north across the Sahara, or from India. One of the earliest European accounts is by a Spanish Moor who visited Egypt in 1216 and described the plant under cultivation by the locals, who ate the tender, young pods with meal. From Arabia, the plant spread around the shores of the Mediterranean Sea and eastward. The plant was introduced to the Americas by ships plying the Atlantic slave trade by 1658, when its presence was recorded in Brazil. It was further documented in Suriname in 1686. Okra may have been introduced to southeastern North America from Africa in the early 18th century. By 1748, it was being grown as far north as Philadelphia. Thomas Jefferson noted it was well established in Virginia by 1781. It was commonplace throughout the southern United States by 1800, and the first mention of different cultivars was in 1806. Botany and cultivation. The species is a perennial, often cultivated as an annual in temperate climates, often growing to around 2 meters tall. As a member of the Malvaceae, it is related to such species as cotton, cocoa, and hibiscus. The leaves are 10 to 20 centimeters long and broad, palmately lobed with 5 to 7 lobes. The flowers are 4 to 8 centimeters in diameter, with 5 white to yellow petals, often with a red or purple spot at the base of each petal. The pollens are spherical with approximately 188 microns diameter. The fruit is a capsule up to 18 centimeters (7.1 in) long with pentagonal cross-section, containing numerous seeds. A. Belmotius esculentus is cultivated throughout the tropical and warm temperate regions of the world for its fibrous fruits or pods containing round, white seeds. It is among the most heat and drought-tolerant vegetable species in the world and will tolerate soils with heavy clay and intermittent moisture, but frost can damage the pods. In cultivation, the seeds are soaked overnight prior to planting to a depth of 1 to 2 centimeters. It prefers a soil temperature of at least 20 degrees Celsius for germination, which occurs between 6 days and 3 weeks. As a tropical plant, it also requires a lot of sunlight. And it should also be cultivated in soil that has a pH between 5.8 and 7, ideally on the acidic side. Seedlings require ample water. The seed pods rapidly become fibrous and woody and, to be edible as a vegetable, must be harvested when immature, usually within a week after pollination. The first harvesting will typically be ready after about 2 months of plantation, and it will be approximately 2 to 3 inches long. The most common disease afflicting the okra plant is verticillium wilt, often causing a yellowing and wilting of the leaves. Other diseases include powdery mildew in dry tropical regions, leaf spots, yellow mosaic and root knot nematodes. Resistance to yellow mosaic virus in A. esculentus was transferred through a cross with Abelmotius manihot and resulted in a new variety called Parbani kranti. Food and uses. The products of the plant are mucilaginous, resulting in the characteristic goo, or slime when the seed pods are cooked. The mucilage contains soluble fiber. 1p. Possible way to deslime okra is to cook it with an acidic food, such as tomatoes, to render the mucilage less viscous. Pods are cooked, pickled, eaten raw, or included in salads. Okra may be used in developing countries to mitigate malnutrition and alleviate food insecurity. Though classified as a fruit, okra has often been utilized as a vegetable, both on its own and with other dishes and materials. When cooked, it takes many forms. Cutting and cooking okra in moisture will create a sticky juice that increases the thickness of soups and stews. Dried okra can also thicken sauces. It is summertime. Used as an egg white substitute to increase richness of flavor. Other people might grind and roast the seeds as a non-caffeinated coffee substitute. Leaves and seeds. Young okra leaves may be cooked in a similar way to the greens of beets or dandelions, or in salads. Okra seeds may be roasted and ground to form a caffeine-free substitute for coffee. When importation of coffee was disrupted by the American Civil War in 1861. The Austin State Gazette said, "An acre of okra will produce seed enough to furnish a plantation with coffee in every way equal to that imported from Rio." Greenish low edible okra oil is pressed from okra seeds. It has a pleasant taste and odor, and is high in unsaturated fats such as oleic acid and linoleic acid. The oil content of some varieties of the seed is about 40%. At 794 kilograms per hectare. The yield was exceeded only by that of sunflower oil in one trial. In 1920 study found that a sample contained 15% oil. In 2009 study found okra oil suitable for use as a biofuel. Industrial uses. Bast fiber from the stem of the plant has industrial uses such as the reinforcement of polymer composites. The mucilage produced by the okra plant can be used for the removal of turbidity from wastewater by virtue of its flocculent properties. Having composition similar to a thick polysaccharide film, okra mucilage is under development as a biodegradable food packaging, as of 2018. Medical uses. There is ongoing research about the different uses of okra. One study explored the effect of okra extract on gestational diabetes mellitus in rats and its probable molecular mechanism. It was found to improve the blood sugar levels of pregnant rats with the disease. Okra is also high in fiber. About 8 medium-sized pods are estimated to contain 3 grams of fiber. Another study found that okra increases fiber intake, promotes better glycemic control, and improves insulin sensitivity. Okra seed extracts may have an antioxidant and anti-stress effect. Foods such as okra that are high in fiber and antioxidants lower cholesterol levels, according to the American Heart Association. Okra plants may also improve recovery times and fatigue levels. The nutrients in okra may make it useful for preventing several health problems. Benefits number 1. Okra contains beneficial antioxidants. Okra packs many antioxidants that benefit your health. Antioxidants are compounds in food tea that fend off damage from harmful molecules called free radicals. Number 2 of May. Lower heart disease risk. High cholesterol levels are associated with a greater risk of heart disease. Okra contains a thick gel-like substance called mucilage, which can bind to cholesterol during digestion, causing it to be excreted with stools rather than absorbed into your body. One 8-week study randomly divided mice into 3 groups and fed them a high-fat diet containing 1% or 2% okra powder or a high-fat diet without okra powder. Number 3 of May have anti-cancer properties. Okra contains a type of protein called lectin, which may inhibit the growth of human cancer cells. One test tube study in breast cancer cells found that the lectin in okra may prevent cancer cell growth by up to 63%. Number 4 of May. Lower blood sugar. Maintaining healthy blood sugar levels is very important for your overall health. Consistently high blood sugar can lead to prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Research in mice indicates that eating okra or okra extract may help decrease blood sugar levels. Number 5. Beneficial for pregnant women. Folate, vitamin B9, is an important nutrient for pregnant women. It helps lower the risk of a neural tube defect, which affects the brain and spine of a developing fetus. It's recommended that all women of childbearing age consume 400 mcg of folate every day. A review that included 12,000 healthy adult women found that most consumed just 245 mcg of folate per day on average. Number 6. Easy to add to your diet. Though okra may not be a staple in your kitchen, it's quite easy to cook. When purchasing okra, look for smooth and tender green pods without brown spots or dried ends. Store them in the fridge for up to 4 days before cooking.